Hi, I'm Andy, a biomedical engineering major from Los Angeles, California.
And I'm Emily, a material science and engineering major from Roswell, Georgia.
Not long ago, we were going through the same exact process that you're going through right now.
And we know there are so many engineering schools to choose from, so we want to show you what brought us here, to Georgia Tech.
You know, Emily, there's a lot of ground to cover here, so how about we split up and I'll meet you in the Student Competition Center in a bit.
Sounds great. See you later.
See ya. Welcome to the Robotarium. This was the first remote access robotics testbed anywhere in the world that can be used by anyone. The mission statement of the Robotarium is to democratize access to robotics, so it makes sense that 6 of the 7 continents in the world have used this very testbed to do some sort of research or education. As you can see now, the robots are using artificial intelligence to make our beloved GT logo.
Welcome to the Power Lab. What exactly does that mean? Well, luckily, Dr. Sawicki is over here to tell us a little bit more about what goes on in this lab. Hey, Dr. Sawicki.
Hey, Emily, how are you today?
Good.
You're in the Physiology of Wearable Robotics lab. That's what POWER stands for. And what we do here is we build robots for people's legs. We're trying to get people up and moving over the lifespan, and we're also interested in rehab. So we work a lot with stroke survivors and people with lower limb amputation, building state-of-the-art robots to get them outside and moving again.
So can you tell us a little bit about what are the biggest challenges for wearable robotics?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge right now is taking our in-the-lab engineering concepts and getting them out into the real world. So we're working a lot on instrumentation and novel ways of testing things outside the lab.
Well, thank you so much for giving us a tour of your lab.
Thank you.
Wow, this feels so real. Hey Rupa, could you tell me a little bit more about what you use this car simulator for?
Well, Andy, at the Autonomous and Connected Transportation Lab, we research on ways to make our roadways and transportation system safer. We do that by focusing on 3 things: the road user, the infrastructure, and the vehicle itself. This is really important in the context of emerging technologies like the autonomous vehicle. This car has an autonomous vehicle mode that you can activate by switching on the on button.
Wow, driving with no hands? This is so cool.
Well, we can even change the weather.
Wow, being from California, I never thought I'd be driving in the snow. Thank you so much for showing us around. We have to get going, but good luck to you in the future with your research.
Right now, we are in the Nano Engineering Systems and Transport Lab, run by Dr. Baratunde Kola, a professor of mechanical engineering here at Georgia Tech. And here's Dr. Kola now. Hi, how are you?
Doing well, Emily. How are you doing?
Doing well. Can you tell us a little bit more about what nano engineering means?
Sure. So nano engineering just means engineering at really small scales. We use chemistry to control materials to make new systems and applications like advanced solar cells, better cooling of electronics. We've had over 100 undergrads working in the NEST lab, and our projects have led to these undergrads being involved in our startup companies, being involved in industry, and going on to grad school.
Welcome to the Interdisciplinary Design Commons. This is a 15,000 square foot makerspace facility that's run primarily by a student organization on campus known as the Hive. There are 3 key areas of the IDC: the electronic prototyping floor, which we're on now, the fabrication lab downstairs, and a common space upstairs for students to use. And as you can see, a lot of cool stuff is happening here.
You're now in the world-famous Flowers Invention Studio. This 12,000 square foot student-run makerspace has anything you would ever need to make anything you would ever want. Among some of their equipment are 3D printers, laser cutters, soldering equipment, mills, lathes, embroidery machines, sewing machines, vinyl cutters, and even 3D scanners.
This is the Student Competition Center. Here, 7 student teams build vehicles and compete with them throughout the country. These teams include RoboJackets,
GT Motorsports,
GT Off-Road,
High-Tech Racing,
EcoCar,
Solar Racing,
and finally Rec Racing.
Well, Andy, it seems like there's so much here. How about you take the tour this way, I'll take the tour that way, and we'll meet back up here later. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. This is Rec Racing. This team has $2,000 to design and manufacture a car either from parts they find from a junkyard or components they machine themselves. After they build it, they race it on the national stage.
This is Solar Racing. They build a highly efficient 1-passenger vehicle run purely off the power of the sun, and then they race it every year in 2 national competitions.
This is EcoCar. They take a car with an internal combustion engine and turn it into a hybrid vehicle.
This is High Tech Racing. This team built a fully electric Formula-style car that they race internationally. The motor outputs 100 horsepower, so it's pretty fast. By the way, they've won their last 2 competitions.
This is GT Off-Road. They build a single-seat off-road vehicle that is put to the test in a wheel-to-wheel endurance race against 100 other teams in a competition that's meant to break your car.
Behind me is GT Motorsports. They design and develop a Formula car with an internal combustion engine and then race it against universities from all over the world.
This is RoboJackets. They do autonomous navigation, racing, combat robots, and as you can see, soccer. Now that you've seen some of our labs and makerspaces, it's important to ask yourself one important question. Do you want to be one of the world's best engineers?
If so, submit your application online and you can become one hell of an engineer.
We've got to run to class, but we hope to see you on campus real soon.
Nice! Looks like we're catching a ride to class in style. I'll see you around. Go Jackets!